On the case part 2. Now this is about the constitutional rights. In my previous video, which was 1, right to travel, and then I put this one for exactly what I put, 1 something 2. I just did it. There's so much on my mind from today, folks. But anyhow, let me get back to the point. I went and talked about in my other video about the motion. Very important motion. You need to know how to write your motions. This motion was for motion dismissed for lack of jurisdiction over this person. Okay, they got to prove jurisdiction. Not jurisdiction. They got jurisdiction, but you got to state why they don't have jurisdiction. Until you can state why they don't have jurisdiction, they got jurisdiction. Okay, so they ain't got jurisdiction over the people, over you. If you haven't committed a crime, they don't have jurisdiction over you. Okay, folks, let's understand that. And then I talked about the right to travel. I cited a bunch of U.S. Supreme Court cases for educational purposes only, of course. I'm not here to give you any legal advice. Even though I can, now that I've learned and opened up the book, the most important book. It's called the United States Constitution of America and the Bill of Rights. You can't tamper with it. You can't impede it. You can't diminish it. You have to honor it, but you got to get it out. They're not going to speak up for your ass. You do. So if you want to go down this route and you want to be able to travel on a public highway without being impeded, molested, and exercise your constitutional rights, which is life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and has been ruled on by the United States Supreme Court, set in stone. You need to know these things. You need to be able to speak it so you can deliberately indifference this fucking dude out the little crack in the window. Lock your doors. Make sure you're recording. Anytime you deal with public servants, record. So now this section on the case 2 is going to talk about your constitutional rights. Now, I break it down so it's a better understanding, because I know there's a lot of videos out there that they don't really break it down, and it's hard to understand, and you got to research, and then when you read, you're really not understanding what you're reading because they're not really teaching you. So, me as we the people is going to try to help you get some of this out. Give you the tools to use. You know? I'm going to give you the tools to be able to exercise what is rightfully yours. Okay? And one of the things that's rightfully yours is the public highway, anything in the public. We the people belongs to us, not the government. They just oversee it. The corporation, the government is a corporation. You got to understand that. Government is a corporation. And I'm not trying to bash the government and everything else. I respect the government. I respect police officers. They got a tough job to do. I mean, they're pulling over people. Never know what may happen. Maybe they're having a bad day. It took me a lot of trial and error to really understand this. So I try to treat them with the utmost high respect, and I really do. But when you sit there through this little crack in the window and you try to talk to me like I'm an idiot, I get a little frustrated over that. What makes you have any articulable evidence that I'm less intelligent than you, let alone less intelligent than you in the law? You don't have none whatsoever. And you're going to talk to me and treat me like that and think I don't know? Well, most people don't. But when you do it to me and you trespass on this person, that bothers me. Okay, so let's get on to the constitutional rights because it'll probably be a half an hour video, folks. I'm hoping you're going to stay through this because, okay, folks, I'm Wi-Fiing it right now because I'm at the doctor's and I'm in the car. I'm helping somebody out. I mean, I always look at this person closely because the person's been a part of my life for a long time. So it's hard to get away from them words. Actually, it's a friend, and it's sad, but I'm here. I'm make sure that this person gets back and forth, whatnot, and so on. So anyhow, so let me get back to the constitutional law because I might get interrupted again because, like I said, I'm working Wi-Fi. So constitutional rights. Oh, okay. So we ready, folks? The Constitution of America is a legal document and a law of the land. It's a contract you swore to uphold, and you should honor that and in favor for me under the Constitution. Now I break that down a little bit, what all that little statement means, but it's pretty important. So let me read it once again for you guys. The Constitution of America is a legal document. Can't be changed. You can't fuck with it. You can't alter it. You can't impede it. You just can't. You can't do it. It's a legal document and law of the land. It's the law of the land. You can't touch it. It's a contract, and it is a contract. Okay, it's a contract that I trusted into these public servants by them getting these jobs and them swearing an affirmation and swearing an oath to the Constitution to protect the foreign and domestic. I trusted you. I'm trusted in you. So it's a contract, and then you're in breach of that contract, and you can be held accountable for that in a tort claim. I wish there was another way, an easier way, but it's hard. But you got other remedies. But the ultimate one is getting paid for them impeding your movement that's guaranteed by the Constitution. And that's what this is all about, people. Ain't that what a lot of people do? I mean, I don't go in looking for it. I take care of my personal agenda. I travel. Now that I got these 4 dismissed, my license that I had automatically reinstates. Even though it's not in the computer, but that's just the way the law works. Grandfather, I mean, it's the way it is. It should have never been fucking suspended to begin with. So it was unlawful to even take any action. But I don't want the license. Keep it. I'm not acting in interstate commerce. I never will be. I don't make money by way of highway. I just don't do it. Okay, folks. So Article 6, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution. This Constitution and the law of the United States, which shall be made in pursuant thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States. Remember, legal definition for United States is corporation. Shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and things in the Constitution or law of any state to the contrary, notwithstanding. Meaning notwithstanding in law. Means that there's no argument. There's no jurisdiction over you as a person. William Marbury versus James Madison, Justice of the Supreme Court. His opinion was anything that is in conflict is null and void of law. That's his opinion. Now, clearly, he said that for a secondary law, statute, color of law, to come in conflict with the supreme law, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, was illogical, was illogical for certainly the supreme law would prevail over all other law. That's a fact, set in stone. And any law to come into conflict would be null and void, and it would bear no power to enforce it. It where bear no obligation to obey. It would report to its settle as if it never existed for unconstitutionality. I understand the words are the way, but that's the way it's written. You understand? A little twisted in this. Well, that's what the legal system tries to do. They try to twist shit around, confuse you. You got to keep them on crack. You got to keep them on line and in line. You got to make sure that the rights are being protected. Your rights. They're obligated to do that. Bill of Rights, Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, house, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures. We need not go any further. But unless to get those things would be a probable cause on an affidavit that a crime, not a traffic violation, but a crime was committed. You got to understand, what sets us apart and what keeps them at bay is committing a crime or not committing a crime. So let's say this is the crime line. Okay, here's the crime line, folks. Cops are on this motherfucking side. We're on this side. But we're law-abiding citizens. Now, right in the middle, wouldn't you have it, is the Constitution of America and the Bill of Rights. Right there. Corporation, court, public servants, cops, however you want to phrase it. Corporation. Constitution. And on this side is we the people, the United States of America. But we the people, America. You know, America's citizen. Not United States citizen, but American citizen. And that's what I am. I'm an American citizen. I'm not a United States American citizen. I was born and raised here. I didn't come over with a corporation. So I'm not a United States as far as I'm concerned, as far as my religious beliefs are and the way they work. And I don't get into religion, but I'm just saying in general for me, you know, that's how it is. That's just the way it works. Physics, folks. Physics. Public servants, courts, fish and game, corporation. Right here is the Bill of Sale. The Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States. And on this side right here is we the people. We're safe. These son of a bitches can't come over. They can't touch you. And if they come and they start sliding through and they touch you without just cause and unlawfully, then they have violated their oath and violated your civil rights. You'll have to commit a crime for them to come over here. Anything less than that, they're acting outside of their professional capacity with an armed gun. That's against the Constitution. It's against the laws, against common law. You're kidnapping me now. You're restraining me from freedom of movement. There's so many civil violations that they don't even want to do that again to me. Because I understand the law. And I'm so dramatic, peeps, because I want you to understand how it works, how it's broken down. Because I see a lot of videos And it's just not broken down like that. You know? So I break it down so people can understand. Remember, public servant on this side, Constitution, Bill of Rights. They can't come over unless you commit a crime. Once you commit a crime, then that's what the search warrant. They can come around and come over and get your ass, snatch you up, hold you a prisoner. But if you don't commit a crime, and they decide to go through the crack and pull you over for a traffic violation, that's unlawful unless you're acting in interstate commerce. Okay, making money with your license or gained by private highway or gained by way of highway. So you're always a traveler. You're never hired. You don't make money by way of highway. Simple as that. Okay, so William Marbury versus James Madison. Justice Supreme Court. His opinion was anything that is in conflict is null and void of law, and I've already explained that to you. It's unconstitutional. You don't have to go by it. You're immune to prosecution. And, there's a law set up for that. You are immune to prosecution, but you gotta get it out, folks. You gotta get it out. Don't be scared to speak up for your rights. Once it's out, they got to deal with it. Don't let them try to shut you off. Once you raise a constitutional issue and complaint, they have to hear it. Period. Set in stone. They have to hear it. They got to hear your gripe. Okay, so the right of the people to be secured in their persons, house, papers, and effects, and against everyone unless they have a search warrant. And we already explained how that works, okay? Amendment 9. I think I'm pronouncing this right, but I'll break it down for you, though. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage, I think that's right, other retained by the people. So basically, there is no authority to add on to the Constitution in such a way that would take away rights previously already guaranteed. You just can't do it. Set in stone. You can't do it. Sometimes you got to remind them of that. Once you remind them of that, they kind of back off. The Ninth Amendment forbids adding on to the Constitution by any laws whatsoever that take away rights that are previously guaranteed. The 10th Amendment. The power not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the state, are reserved to the state, respectfully, or to the people. So basically, let me break that down for you. The police must act within the limitations of the U.S. Constitution. See Article 10, which I just read. A little brief. Amendment 5, no person shall be held to answer for capital, whatnot. This is a crime. But it's also, the Fifth Amendment just doesn't mean shut the fuck up. Don't answer questions. The Fifth Amendment also means equal protection of the law. That protects your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, your Third Amendment, and so on. Equal protection of the law. If you haven't lost the right, and you can't lose the right to the United States Constitution of America or your Bill of Sales. Your Bill of Rights. Bill of Sales is on my mind today. You can't lose that. They can't take that from you no matter what. Can we understand that, peeps, okay? Open up your freaking eyes. And I don't mean to be dramatic, but they can't take it. That is yours. We the people. We the people. United States Constitution. They can't take it. They can't change it. They can't alter it. They have to go by it. It's the best book I've ever read. And I've only read partial and I'm still continuing to read. Okay, so anyways, let's go on. So we established at the Fifth Amendment equal protection. That you're okay. So basically, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be tried twice, but in jeopardy of life or limb, And we all know that because everybody teaches it, and that's what we hear most of. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Or, shut the fuck up, basically, Nor be deprived of, here's a good one, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. That's your equal protection clause. You have the equal right to all of your rights under the law. And you have a right to due process of the law. And if they don't give you due process, Title 5 United States Code Section 556D is clear and specific and says if they deny your due process of the law, all jurisdiction ceases automatically. Also 557 in Section 706 of the code. Nor shall private property be taken for the public use without compensation. It's crazy how they do things. Okay, so now we're going to really get into AM Jurisprudence, Volume 16. This is pretty interesting. This is constitutional law. This is law, folks. You can't touch it. But before we start, let me, I'm a smoker, and I should probably do another video because it's shorter, but I want to get it all in one video. So, AM Jurisprudence, Volume 16, it's constitutional law. That's, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people hasn't heard about that. I'm even fairly new to all this, even though I've been studying law for a long time. I haven't got as serious as I am now since I've read the Constitution of America and the Bill of Rights. Boy, once I read that book, my eyes opened. I really realized then, this is the corporation, Constitution is the wall. That's what's protecting us from these fucking dirtbags from coming over here on our side. They're mingled in with us. I'll break it down like that so you can understand. I'm not a cop hater, but I don't like them violating my rights. They're mine. They're not yours to take. You can't take them. It's against the law to take them. You can't take them. They're mine. They're yours. We the people. Okay, folks. So I'm going to end this quickly, and I'm going to get on to the AM Jurisprudence in Volume 3 here, because this one's kind of long. Okay, peace, folks.